In Father Jacob, in 1814, the country of Norway was founded. The people were excited and glad that their leaders began talking together about the laws that would be made for the new country. They talked both of what they wanted and that they didn't want it. And one thing that they agreed on was there should be no more Jews. They didn't like Jews, and never again would they be allowed to come to live in Norway. One man, a writer, was very sad that the law should be made. He thought that it was wrong that Norway should keep out a whole group of people for good. After all, the Jews had done nothing to harm Norway. One day, a story started to form in the mind. He picked up his pen, and the words began to appear like magic on a piece of paper before him. Once there was an old Jew from Sweden, whom everyone called Father Jacob. He was a wood carver, and every winter time, when the snow had come and lay deep and crisp, he used to come over to Norway on his sled with a great sack full of toys to sell and the helmets of villagers of the east of the country. The grown-ups didn't like him. They muttered at him behind his back and spat in the snow when his name was mentioned. Old Jew, coming here with his rough toys and wanting our money, why doesn't he stay back in Sweden and make money off them? They came as little as they could to the children for them to spend on presents. But all the children liked Father Jacob. He had a long silver beard, and he reminded them of Father Christmas. As well as having a sack full of toys, he had lots of stories of all his journeys and of animals he had seen and strange things that had befallen him. The children would gather around to listen until the stars began to crackle in the skies before running off home to bed over the snowy tracks. One winter, when Father Jacob came over into Norway, everyone whispered of a terrible blizzard that was coming down from the Arctic. The people of northern Norway had said that it lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. Father Jacob had only a thin tent to sleep in, and so that he went from door to door asking for shelter. May I stay here until the storm is over? Please, would you just give me a sanctuary just for the night? We have no room, Jew, so go find somewhere else to stay. Leave us in peace. We only have little enough for ourselves and for our children. Everywhere Father Jacob went, it was the same story. And at last, the snow began falling wild and furious. The old man was lost in the darkness and did not know any way back to his tent. At last, he heard the sound of a child crying. It was a little girl called Anna, who had lost her way home, and Father Jacob protected her with his robe from the fierce cold of the driving snow and the howling wind. He sheltered her so that the worst of the blizzard would not freeze her. The next morning, the people came running out into the deep new snow. Anna, my Anna, the little girl's mother shouted with joy as she saw her daughter struggling up alive from the ground. She hugged and hugged her, tears of happiness running down her face. It was Father Jacob who saved me. Anna whispered. They all turned to look at the old man, but there he lay in the snow, not breathing, his life over. He had died. To see the little girl. Then they remembered how they had turned him away from their houses, and how they told him they had no room for him, and they hung their heads in sorrow and shame. The writer finished his story and laid down his pen the very next day. He sent it away to be published, and soon everyone in Norway was reading his tale of old Father Jacob and the little girl that he saved from the storm. But people knew that he was writing about them and about the new law they had made to shut out all Jewish people and keep them away from Norway. They understood that they had been selfish and cruel, just like the villagers who shut out Father Jacob. They realized that Norway had no room for strangers, for people of all colors and races, and for the Jews too. So it was that. The end.